So going to the Kami document that I created, I started with a video here for the kids to watch. I imported a video off of YouTube, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Then you can see there are all these dots throughout the video. Okay. If I click on this dot, it shows you that this dot is associated with this video. And this is a video comment of me that I created to tell the kids something before they get started. I can't remember what it was because I made this so long ago, but it's some kind of directions that when the kids click on it, they listen to me. Okay, I remember now. It's me telling them whenever they come to a bold word, I want them to comment with a definition. Okay, so here's a bold word, soccer. And what I did was I created a video and gave them an example of a definition I would be looking for. So then as your kids are reading and they're coming to these bold words, that's what they're going to do. And I showed you that when the kids do it, they're going to choose their own color. So, oops, I'm on the video creation right now. I need to choose this cursor here. Sorry about that. So as the kids read through this document, they're going to stop here and they're going to create their own video comment with a yellow dot. And again, I'll show you how to do that to show me that they've posted what these definitions are. And I just put 2 examples here of what the kids might write. Okay. And then they would keep reading and do it for defenders, midfielders, and so on. This image was something that was already here, but as the kids read, I noticed, hey, they may not know where those positions are. So I brought an image in from a Google search in Kami. Again, I'll show you how to do this. And I showed where the positions are. Okay, so they could use their fingers to kind of zoom in and look more closely at that image. Moving on from there, the kids would keep reading and, comment with the yellow dot to show you what definitions they're coming up with. And then again, they see the pink dot, they click on it, and it prompts them to this comment that I created. And it says, now that you have learned the soccer field positions, answer the questions in this quiz. So here, I linked in a Google form. Click on it, brings you to a Google form. And the kids, these are just, questions I threw together for fun to show you. And their Kami document is linked to a Google form. Moving on, kids are reading. They're giving you answers either using context clues. They could do research and look up the answer to the definition. This isn't something that you're necessarily grading them on. Remember, this is a teaching tool. So it's for them to learn about soccer. So they're allowed to look things up. They're allowed to do research as they go along. I also added a text piece here. Watch this video on how to properly shoot on goal in soccer. Record yourself using the Flipgrid link. In comments, you can show yourself kicking a ball or describe how to shoot on goal in words. Okay, so they'd click on the video like I showed you before, watch it, click on the pink dot. This brings them to the Flipgrid where they can now create a video of themselves shooting on goal or showing you how they would shoot on goal, or in the directions I said that they could also describe in words. So they could add their own comment here on how they would shoot on goal. And then moving down, they're continuing with their reading. They click here, and it brings up a video comment. Oh yeah, that's right. It's it's me saying, do you ever wonder why some people call soccer soccer and in other countries they call it football? So it's more of an enrichment activity. Just that worldly knowledge of why these things happen, why we would all of a sudden say soccer when it was originally called football. And they can click on a link that I provided for them and learn about why that happens. So you can see here, I have a basic document with a lot going on. Okay, so if you were a phys ed teacher, you can see the kids are learning a ton about soccer. There's reading involved. There's all different aspects of soccer being brought in. And then there's a little bit of enrichment at the end for kids who get done quickly and just important knowledge that kids probably should know, that we all should know. And it allows the kids an opportunity to interact with the document and provide information as well. If you assigned this through Google Classroom, the kids would open it up. There'd be a button up here that says turn in, and they could turn this in to you. They could use it as a study guide for a test that they have coming up after they've done all this work. Okay? So this is one example of how you can set up Kami as a teaching tool. I'm back in the Meet now. I'm going to show you a couple more examples, some much more simple than what I just showed you, but I just wanted to take a look at you all. I'm going a little bit quicker because I did incorporate so many examples this time because I wanted to touch on the younger grade, so I'm moving more quickly because I do need to show you how to bring all these pieces in. But
Gina, is there a classroom or something where we can see these examples?
Yes. You're going to see, I'm going to give you the link at the end, and I'm going to start posting the examples. Anyone else? Okay. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to go with one of the younger grades here. The material that they're doing in the younger grades is just as important, but you have a little bit of an advantage here when you're setting up the Kami because your kids are so much younger that you need to obviously incorporate less. So the advantage here is it's not going to take me so long to explain this one to you. But for your kids, obviously walking through and introducing this type of document to them, getting them familiar with it, and over time, even the youngest kids will start, recognizing the format that you have set up if you do a similar thing every time. And they, in turn, will be able to follow a Kami document independently. And for the kids who aren't, if you're doing this in classroom, you can meet with them in a small group with their Chromebooks, walk through the Kami document with them while other kids work independently. So if you're doing Kami with the younger kids, maybe the first thing you do is always have a video at the top. I pulled this off of YouTube. It's about the digraph ch and making the ch sound with your words. So they could click and watch the video. From there, they would go to this pink dot because pink is the color of the teacher and watch this video that I created telling them that I want them to, before they read, find all of the ch digraphs and underline them in Kami. So to do that, they would go to the drawing tool. They would choose the color you've designated for students since day one, and they would go on and underline the ch sound. So if you designated gold or yellow, whatever this is what your kids would do first. Okay? I don't even know if underlining these things is something you would do with the younger kids, but I just thought it would draw their attention to it. And then from there, they have been told after they do that, they can go ahead and read the document. After they read the document, they have a dot here that tells them when they click, brings up this video, and it says now you need to answer these questions, use the blah-bitty-blah color to, circle the right answer. And that's again where they would go and use the drawing tool to do whatever it is you want them to do to choose the right answer. So this is a more simple way of using this as a teaching tool, but I know that in K1, even 2, they're showing videos like this on the front board. They're providing directions like I provide here, and the same thing here. But again, there's no handing out that worksheet. You have kids working right on their Chromebooks, doing what you may or may not have them do on the worksheet. There's still opportunity. If you wanted, you could teach them how to create a video and read this to you. So they could go here and add a media and, oh, my bad. They would go up here to the comments and go here to a video comment, which I'm going to show you soon, and read the video to you. Or they could use their voice to read, I said video, to read the paragraph to you so you could actually hear them reading if you're not working in a small group. And then go on and answer the questions. So there's a lot the kids can do with this to answer you back, to show you they know what they are supposed to do with this document, and then go ahead and click on the turn in button that would be up here in the right corner if you assign this through a Google Classroom. So I'm back in the Meet. Again, I'm going to show you how to set this up because I know it's a little bit overwhelming right now, but it's hard to show you how to set it up if you don't see it all, how it would be laid out.
I think there is a tool that the text will be read like to the kids.
There is.
Yeah.
So if you had, real struggling learners that you're doing this with kindergarten, there's this text to speech tool here that you could click on, play to read the page. I don't know if it's because I'm in the Meet, it's not working, but this would read the whole entire page to your kids. So that's an option too. So if you're, you pull a group of 3 kids and you want everyone else to have it read to them. Let's see here.
Gee, do you have to highlight it in order to get it to read it?
I didn't think you had to. Usually it just reads to them.
I don't
But-
think you can do it, Gina, when you're in presentation mode.
That's what I'm thinking. It's either because I'm presenting my screen or something.
I
So
think
this
I had
one-
one of my students do it once before. It didn't work when she was online with me in presentation mode.
Okay. But thanks for
So
pointing
this
that out.
would work. So the videos, if I was presenting this to a student and I wanted to click on that CH video,
Mhm.
it won't work because I'm presenting.
Okay. I might have, tell me if you guys can hear this, first of all. It didn't start yet. Can you guys hear that?
No.
Okay. So this wouldn't be an option when you are teaching virtually. You would have the option, however, to open it up in a separate tab if you wanted to show it to them that way. Let me just try one more thing to see if it would work. If I pull it up in YouTube. Are you able to hear it now in the YouTube tab? Can you all hear that?
No.
Okay.
No.
So what happens with presenting your screen when you want them to watch a video, when I've been in people's classrooms, what usually happens is if you are sharing a video, you have to choose a tab instead of choosing full screen. At least that's what's happening in the secondary school. So unfortunately, it wouldn't work for you to present it to the kids. You could teach them to do that on their own if you're 100% virtual, but unfortunately, they won't be able to hear it.
If you assign it as in your Google Classroom, say that lesson was in your Google Classroom,
Mhm.
and you assign that, you can assign that YouTube video in your Google Classroom, and it will show. You just have to assign it like right next to it,
Okay.
and like show it separately.
Right.
Like you wouldn't be able to, you know what I mean? You wouldn't be able to show it on the piece of on the assignment, but you could still show it, and it will
Okay.
work. Because
Okay.
we do that at the high school.
Okay. So doing it through the Kami document may not be an option
Right.
for the 100% virtuals. But the point of the Kami document wouldn't be for you all the time to be the one showing it. It's really supposed to be more of like an independent teaching tool on some level where the kids are going through the document on their own, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go back to my slides. I'm going to click on this one here. Oh, sorry about that. I created a force in motion Kami document. Actually, it looks like I might have linked the wrong. Sorry about that. Must be 3 Village Calling. That's interesting. I had this set up as a Kami document. Let me just try this with
You
some
can
links on it.
slide in Kami and use it?
What's that?
Can you open up a slide in Cami or just a
You can.
document? Okay.
Yep. So I'll show you how to do that actually. So I created the slide presentation here for something I'm doing with a 3rd grade class at Setauket. And I went and opened up Cami. And you can see what's kind of cool about it. Oh, I do have I guess I had to reopen it in Cami. I thought I linked it in Cami. But you could see here, it's a few different slides that came over in Cami, and it's force and motion. And there's a little text box that says keywords to use. And when you click here, the directions tell you to try to guess what this is. So I'm having them predict, what is this? And based on what I've taught you with force in motion so far, use these words. And I tell the kids that they can respond with a video or a text comment. Then from here, they go to the next slide, and there's a YouTube video showing them that this is like a children's version of how to create a hovercraft. And the thing, when you let go of the balloon, it just kind of floats across the table like a hovercraft. And after viewing the video, use the Google search tool to add an image of a hovercraft. Add a text box that describes the hovercraft, how the hovercraft uses force and motion. You can do some Google research to find your answer. So this is kind of giving them a chance to predict, to see the air in motion, working, to do some research on their own, and to find an image and do research learning how a hovercraft works. Although I know there's someone somewhere in the 3rd grade who knows everything about hovercrafts, who could probably teach everything better than we could. We all know we have that kid who knows everything about something that we're teaching. And then from here, they click on this dot. And there's a video explaining to them that we're going to use all of these tools. It's kind of driving them to create the balloon car that pushes the car across a table or the floor or whatever to drive it. And it's powered by the air in the balloon. However, I didn't want to limit the kids to just that. So if they come up with something other than a car, they have that option. So the video here explains to them that they're going to use these materials, and it includes the balloon and the straw and whatever, to get whatever they create to move using force. So this is more of a very hands-on activity using the Cami as a teaching tool. Of course, we could have put more teaching pieces in here, but it's kind of something to me that would be a follow-up for a 3rd grade class after you've taught them a bunch and they've done a bunch of research and they know a little about force and motion, that they could make the prediction, learn about hovercrafts a little bit, and then create something that's driven by air on their own.
Gina,
Yes.
can I just ask, I don't know if I missed, how do you insert these little videos with directions? Did
I'm
we
gonna
go
show
over
you.
that?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I just kind of wanted to show you everything, and then I have a math sheet where I'm going to show you how to do all of these things. I didn't click on this one yet, but we're going to go through this one more quickly. It's going to be a little bit repetitive, I think. This is just your basic periodic table worksheet. I put a video here about the periodic table. I have some things highlighted, and I'm going to click here to tell you. So I had them highlight the questions showing important information. So if you're teaching reading skills as kids are answering multiple choice questions, or you have kids even in high school that are struggling readers and don't know how to find that important information, obviously these are very short questions. It's usually a multi-step math problem or something with more information that you might be teaching these skills. They can highlight in a Cami document, just like how we would teach reading skills, mostly for the younger grades, I assume, where they're highlighting or underlining what's important. They can do that in Cami. Moving down from here, before you go on, do this Edpuzzle activity. So I just wanted to show you too, you can incorporate Edpuzzle and link different, Kahoots, Edpuzzles, Flipgrids, whatever here. And yes, I promise I'm going to show you how to do that. I have them using the Boron model here, where they use the draw tools to create circles and little tools here to create the number of electrons. It's been a long time. To put on the layers here. And then moving on, the kids can do different activities where they're just even inserting text to answer questions. And then from here, to get out of that basic worksheet kind of activity, you and your partner have been assigned a single element. So if you wanted to do something where an in-person and a virtual kid are working together, or if you're in an elementary room and the kids are all still there, but they can't be, closer together, and you want them working together on Google Slides, they can do an activity like this where they're assigned an element, or for the younger grades, maybe a certain animal in a certain ecosystem, whatever. And then they click here on the slide presentation I provided. It opens up, and together they create something on a slide. So obviously the slide presentation would open up to all of the students, and the first group would work on this slide, second group would be working on this slide, third group on this slide, whatever. So this is just another way of taking Kami, making it a teaching tool, and bringing, a project in. I showed you Edpuzzle, I showed you Flipgrid, I showed you a little bit of group work with Google Slides. So I just think these are different ways to kind of up the ante with Kami and, give it a little bit more life, make it more interactive, take the onus off the teacher from lecturing, give kids a little bit of independence for learning independently. I know I always say this when I'm teaching, whatever class I'm teaching, but if I brought up a topic right now and I said to all of you, hey, go and learn about blah, 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 you'd pull up your phones and you'd start looking at YouTube videos. You'd start doing Google searches. You'd look at an image of whatever it is I tried to show you. And I feel like doing this way, setting up that HyperDoc puts the student, gives them more responsibility for doing that kind of research, which is the kind of learning they're going to be doing as they get older, instead of that, lecture. And I know with Google Meets, for those of you doing the hybrid model especially, it's even more difficult because you have kids in the room and kids who are virtual, and it gives you that chance to turn the Meet off and let them go off and learn a little bit, and either turn that document into you or come back and talk about what they learned, or however you want to, finalize an activity like this. So if you don't have any questions for me, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. Does anyone want to ask me any questions before I start to show you how to set this kind of thing up? All right, here we go. And it's okay. I made this class up. I don't have stock in it or anything like that. When you see this kind of activity, do you feel good about using something like this in your class? Thumbs up, not so good, somewhere, boo. Okay, and you can be honest. I'm not like, I ask this only because, do I teach the class again? Do I not? So just getting that general thumbs up, thumbs down somewhere in the middle from you is helpful for me. When I plan to
I like using this stuff, G, but I'll be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, something that I put in my document or in my slide doesn't work. But I have to say the kids usually tell me what I did wrong.
No, that's good. And I know that that's tough too. And if you guys, I hate to say if you have the time, because I know nobody right now has time for much, the best thing you can do is join your Google Classroom as a student and, grab your Chromebook and try to access whatever it is as a student. Gary Young is so great about opening things up when they're blocked, but when you're in the heat of it and you got your kids looking at you or you're on a Google Meet with them, it totally stinks to have that happening. And, we get the emails like, I'm on a meet with my kids right now, or I'm in the middle of teaching a class and something's not opening. And, I did that a million times last year when I was doing STEM. So if you can test it out ahead of time or share it with me and I'll log in as a student and test it out, you can always do that.
Gina?
Yes.
Quick question, Sadie. You can log into your Google Classroom as a student end while you're the teacher of the classroom?
Yeah, you would just add your student account.
Ah, okay. Add myself as a student?
Not you, everybody has a student account. So like I'm G Varach at 3villagecsd.org, but there's also an account out there that's G Varach at STU period 3villagecsd.org.
Oh, wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, so you have an A O'Leary or whatever. I don't know how
Right.
what your username is exactly, but you have a Stu, so you can add your Stu to all your Google Classrooms and test out anything you want.
That is good to know. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to open up this math worksheet.
I'm sorry, I have one more question.
Go for
When
it.
you are assigning like worksheet like this, is there a difference between just posting them as an assignment and a Kami assignment? Because I usually post them as assignment and the students are used to like open them in Kami. Is there any difference?
So you're talking about like a basic worksheet that you post the worksheet as an assignment, and then how do the
Whenever I'm
kids
posting
write on it?
something in Google Classroom,
Say that again?
whenever I'm posting something in Google Classroom in PDF, if I'm posting something in Google Classroom as a PDF and it's worksheet, sometimes there is like, answer the questions or listen to. But what's the difference between posting it as an assignment and opening Kami and posting it as a Kami assignment? Is there any difference?
When you post it as a Kami assignment, it communicates with Google Classroom more effectively. If you just post it as a PDF, like when you go to create assignment in your Google Classroom, if you want it to be a Kami assignment, you go to create and you should choose Kami assignment. And then they can turn it in and it gets turned in through Google Classroom. If you just do a regular assignment, they don't have the turn in option through Kami that communicates with Google Classroom. Okay, is that okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. No problem.
I'm sorry,
Um,
Gina, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I
Okay.
just have one more question just about that. So this year I noticed that when I do, basically I just put like into my Google Classroom assignment, I will put the PDF, and then once the kids go on, I don't have to assign it in Kami. They
Correct.
just open it in Kami, but now they can still turn it into me.
They have the
Right.
turn in button in the top right.
I'm pretty sure, but I'm that's what I'm confused about, because I do notice when I go in and check it, I can see their work. Yes.
Okay. I think it does take out. I know that when you open it as a Kami assignment, the turn in button is in the top right. In the past, and I know so many things have changed, when you open it in Kami, I think they have to go back to Google Classroom to turn it in. Maybe that's the difference. I think it just eliminates that step.
Probably. Right. That's what I'll check that when
Yeah.
I'm in the classroom with them.
So creating it in Kami, maybe it just eliminates that step.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
You don't have to assign it in Kami, which is nice. They just click the top and they could just say open with Kami.
Yep.
And then it opens it for them. It's nice and easy.
So you don't even create a Kami assignment? You
No.
just,
No.
okay.
No, it's great. It's just like, I guess it just happens like in the fall. I don't know. I just noticed. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been doing that too. You can just post any PDF and then they can open it right
Yeah.
from there.
Okay.
The nice thing about posting it in Kami as an assignment is it automatically is defaulted to a student copy. Where I find if I do it as an assignment, sometimes I forget to click, everybody gets a copy.
Okay. Yeah, I remember
I
it
see.
eliminated steps. There were a couple steps that it eliminated because then
Yeah.
when you assign it as a Kami, Google Classroom notices it as a Kami document. But if it's working for you and the
Mhm.
kids are okay with, just turning it in through Classroom, then go for it.
Mhm.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. I can't remember where I left. Oh, I remember. I was opening this up. And I'm going to show you if I have this worksheet. And again, this is not a PDF document. It's just a regular worksheet. I'm going to open up in Kami, and I want to show you how to use it as a teaching tool. Come on. Here we go. So I, as a teacher, am opening it in Kami first. Now, just working on this menu, I'm going to work through this menu with you to show you. I'm going to delete a couple of these so I can show you from the beginning. The text-to-speech will read it to you. The markup tool, if you click on it, there are a few options here. There's the text highlighter. So if you wanted to highlight the directions to bring attention to them for the student, you could just click on the text highlighting tool. Again, if you're going to start using Kami with your students, I highly recommend that from day one, you choose a teacher color so that they know whenever you use yellow or whatever, that it's cut, that's a mark that the teacher made that they need to pay attention to. There's
So
also,
is this document, you started this document in slides or documents?
this is just a regular document.
It's a regular document.
Yep.
And then you opened it in Kami?
Yep. I'm sorry. So when you saw this,
Yeah, that's why I was a little confused how,
see how
Yeah.
this is a regular Google Doc?
correct?
All you have to do to take a document and put it into Kami is when you have that document open, you click on Kami, or you don't even have to have it open, but that's usually what I end up doing. You click on Kami
Kami, right. Okay.
and then you open it from you find it in your Google Drive.
Oh, you found it in the Google Drive.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So now I have it here and I opened up the Algebra 1 document in Kami. So this was basically a worksheet that I found online. There are about 40 questions like this. And then the next page was like 20 questions like this that were word problems, which would be painful to do. So I copied, I made this heading. I copied 4 from the online document, put them in a Google Doc. I copied these, put them in a Google Doc, and I have them here. And then I opened this doc in Kami.
Okay. You opened it in Kami.
Yep.
Okay.
So from here, you can highlight directions. This highlighter here is just another version of the highlighter. It's like a box highlighter. You can draw a box around something to highlight it, just makes it bigger. You can cross things out. So if you're working with kids on certain reading skills and you want them to eliminate what's not important, they can cross things out just by highlighting something that they don't want there. You can underline. Another great skill when kids are looking for important information. Maybe they read a question and you want them to show where they found the answer. They can go back and highlight whatever the case may be. Or even as the teacher, if you get your chosen color and you want to highlight something or underline something, you can do that as well. If you as the teacher want to add a voice comment, a video comment, you do that here. So again, you click on this, you click on the option you want to use, you choose your color. So the voice comments and the video comments that you choose from here end up out of the margin of your document. Okay, so just hold on for 1 second. Something's beeping in my house. Just give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. So going back to my document, any video that you're creating for your kids, you would click on the voice comment option, choose the teacher color, and then let's just say you want to explain something about this problem. You click next to it, and right away it starts recording. You can see the movement here, that it's recording what I'm saying, and I'm telling them, hey, boys and girls, when we did these single step equations in class, a lot of you made a mistake when the equal sign came before, the plus sign. So please pay close attention to this and don't make the same mistakes you made in class. And then when you're done, you hit stop. And this is there for them. And they know, because you've taught them how to use your HyperDoc, your CamiDoc, that when they come to this circle that's gold colored, that the teacher left some sort of direction for them. If you wanted to add a video comment, you can do that too. So you would click on the video instead. And maybe you want that to be first, okay? You would choose the color that the teacher always uses, click here, because you want to tell them something before they get started, click, and bam, the video is recording you right away. You could see me down here being recorded, and I'm saying, hey, boys and girls, maybe I'm holding something up. This is how you do this kind of problem. Make sure you focus on this and this. And if you have a problem with this, don't forget we took the notes on this, and they're on the Google Doc saved in our blah, blah, blah folder. And when you're done recording what you want to say, you just hit done up here, and your video's here. So when the kids click on this yellow circle, it highlights this. When they click on this yellow circle, it highlights this. So the circle is coordinated with whatever video you put on the side here. Just remember that when you're adding your comments like these, they end up in the margin and coordinate with whatever circle you put here. If you want to add a text box for your students, you just choose text, you choose the teacher color. There's more colors here. And then once you click, you can start typing. Okay, so that's how you can add text to your Kami document before the kids get started on it. The equation tool here, if you click here, you can insert various mathematical symbols. So if you were writing, for example, 3, and you needed a special symbol that wasn't on your keyboard, you can choose it here. Other options, moving on to that, the drawing tool is here. So you could click on the drawing tool, choose the color here, and use the drawing feature that's available for anything that you want to use for drawing. The shapes tools is what I use to create the Bohr model on that chemistry page. So I went like this. And then to draw the electrons, I created smaller ones on the line. Oops, not a very good artist there. If you create something and you don't want it there anymore, you can go back up here to the cursor tool, click on it, and delete it. So you can delete anything that you put on the screen here. You would click on it and hit the delete key on your screen. Even a drawing, if you click on it, you get some options here to move it, change the width of the line, or just hit trash to delete it entirely. You can also fill the shape tools, I believe. So if I click on this here, stay with me. I thought you were able, yep, there you go. Click here and you can fill it in with a color of your choice. There's also the eraser tool, another option for erasing things, drawings and shapes, and all annotations. So if you wanted to go all annotations at once, you could do that. Or you can choose the eraser tool and just scroll over things. And the more exciting feature, and again, this isn't just for you, your kids might, as part of the Kami activity, be bringing in videos and things of that nature to show what they learned. You can add media. So by clicking here, you go to the folder, And this is where you could pull things that you already have saved on your computer, your desktop, your Chromebook, whatever. This brings you right to your Google Drive. So you could pull something off your drive. If you wanted to do a Google image search, so that I had showed you the soccer field positions. So you would type that into the Google image search, click your search tool, and you could find whatever image you like here, click on it, select it, and bring it into your document where it would fit. Now these images and videos, when you bring them in, all go on the document. So while anything in this comment section goes outside of the margin, anything within the Add Media feature goes on the document. So just to walk you through that one more time, you would go to Add Media, Google Image Search, type in whatever it is you're looking for, hit the search tool, choose the image that you want. You could scroll through if you want, click on it, select. Now it's attached to your cursor. Click to place it, and then you can play around with the size and where you want it to be. And then the option with the YouTube videos, you can go again to Add Media, choose YouTube. You could link a YouTube video here or how to shoot on goal. You could put, some sort of words in to identify what you're looking for. Click on the video that you're choosing, click select. Wait for it. You can watch the video here if you want to, but once you know it's the video you want, you click insert video. Here's the video attached to your cursor. Place it where you want it. Size it up. And click on it to move it. Wait for it. There we go. And then you can move it wherever you want. So when you're scrolled over the image of the video, it is a little bit wonky at first because it's very sensitive. As soon as you touch anything outside of the path to get here, it disappears. But then once you grab it properly, you can move it around to where you want it. I also want to point out a feature that a lot of teachers like is if you include, say, a text box here at the bottom and say, after you complete these problems, watch a video on 2-step and post on page 2. And then you can add a page to your Kami. I would have had to do this in the beginning, but you could add a second page to a Kami document and give the kids directions to post something. They could do research, just like we did on the Google Slides, and post it on the second Kami page before they turn it in. There's something else that's important. Oh, my MacBook's about to die. Hold on one second. I just have to grab my charger. Okay. I forget how quickly your MacBook can conk out on you when you have so many things going on. Okay. I want to show you how to be able to insert links here in the comments. But before I do that, does anyone have any questions for me right now? Go ahead. I think you're muted.
Yes, so I have also been using like you, like finding a document in Google Drive and then opening in Kami. Can you just start from scratch a document over there? Like you said, like, I mean, you imported a video and then you had to like resize it and find space for room to put the link. Like, can you start a new document, HyperDoc in Kami? Or does it need to be pre-existing document from Google Drive?
No, you can, the things that I added in, you can add in once you open the Kami document in Kami.
But can I start a new document as a Kami assignment that I would do the text, then insert the videos and the links and comments?
Oh yeah. So if I want to now, I can take this Kami document and add it to Google Classroom as an assignment.
No, I wanted to know if I can start just typing on a blank sheet of paper without opening the document from Google Drive.
Yep, sorry. So if I'm if I go to my Google Drive and I open up Kami right here, new blank page comes up.
Okay.
So you would click on new blank page, choose the number of pages, add, and now I have a blank Kami document, and you could add whatever you wanted here.
And one more question, how can students add a second page to an existing Kami document that they are working on? Can you show it again?
Right down here, there's a plus sign at the bottom for add more pages.
In Kami or in Drive? In Kami?
This is in Drive. This is in Kami.
Okay.
Right now I'm in Kami, so I would just click here, add a page, and it just kind of makes you restart a little bit here with the upload. It asks you how many pages you want to add. You could add a blank page or pull something from your Drive, and then you just hit add. And now I have 2 pages. All set with that? Everyone good? Okay, good. Now, one of the more exciting features when you're creating your Kami doc and using it as a teaching tool, I can't believe how many tabs I have open here. Okay, is when you have something like this. So here, I have a video, and then if the kids are working here, the video tells them, let me listen. And then I'm giving them directions, and they can click on this doc here. And it could bring them to answers. So one of the things sometimes it happens with math worksheets is maybe they go through and do it, and then at the end you might want to provide some sort of answer key or something on a document here. Another piece too is incorporating the Edpuzzle. So if you had an Edpuzzle that you wanted to add in, let me just open up, let me close a few more of these. Okay. Let's just say you had an Edpuzzle that you really liked, and it's this one on conflict resolution. Okay. And you want the kids to complete this Edpuzzle within their Kami document. Okay. So you would copy the link from Edpuzzle, go back to your Kami document. You would go to comment. You would choose a text comment. You would pick the color that you use as the teacher and put it wherever you want to on the page. And then here you would paste the Edpuzzle link. So complete this Edpuzzle after problem 3. And then you could right click, paste, and you put the Edpuzzle link there, hit enter, and now the kids can access this Edpuzzle link and do the Edpuzzle along with, learning throughout the Kami document. Another thing too is if you had a Google slide presentation, let's just pretend this whole Kami document is about force and motion, and you have multiple things throughout here all about force and motion. And at the very end, you want them to create, this hovercraft style project after they've learned everything force and motion. So you want to link the slides to your Kami presentation. So you'd go to comments, you could click here on the page, complete this STEM activity on force and motion with a partner, whatever it is you're doing. Go back to this, click on the link, copy the link. You could Control C to make it easier, but right click and copy is fine as well. Go back to your comment, paste it, hit enter, and then the kids can access the slide presentation here to work on that activity. So that's how you insert all of these pieces. And it's not just left up to you to do this. You can prompt your kids to pull a video, to add a comment, to add a voice, to read out loud to you, to tell something that they learned after they've done something, and then turn it in.
Quick question, Tina.
Yeah, go ahead, Jessica.
If you insert a slide like that, is it something that everyone would have editing access to? So it's not something that would make a copy, or can you change the link at the end to say copy, like to force a copy?
Well, you have a couple of options.
Okay.
When you're in the presentation, you can go here by clicking on share and then change to Three Village School District. You would have to have it in the view setting.
Okay.
So instead of changing it to editing, you could change it to the view setting. And then this way, when the kids open up the slide presentation, the only option is for them to view it. They cannot edit it. You could probably also, if you went up to the address, what is it you do? You change something up here to
change that word edit to copy, and I think it forces them to make a
correct.
copy.
That's right.
Okay.
I haven't done it in so long that I forgot.
No, it's fine. I have to Google it every once in a while to remind myself.
So you change the word edit to copy, and then it forces a copy. I've never done that through Kami.
Okay.
But if you gave it a try, I mean, it just did it to me. So if you give it a try, go for it. So what Jessica just reminded me of is if you're in the address here, the word edit is typically here. And if you change the word edit to copy, that's just another way to force, like if you're sharing with colleagues, like if you created this and you have that colleague who never remembers to make a copy, when you send them the link to something, we all know who that is. It could be one of you, right? If you change the word edit to the word copy and then share the link, no matter what, they're forced to make a copy. That's just a little hint. So again, the whole point of this, and we're close to the end here, is creating this Kami document gives those kids a little bit of independence, lets them become independent learners, takes that whole lecture piece off of you and lets them do some exploring and learning on their own. It's safe because you're giving the videos, you're giving comments, you're providing links. They're not just going all willy-nilly, doing Google searches and things of that nature. Your goal for this class is to bring your expertise in your subject area or your grade level and create a Kami document for your kids. If you can test it out for them, I will totally be your Stu guinea pig. I'll join your classroom as a student. You can post it for me and I'll test every link out for you so we can see how everything's working before your students do it. But I'd love for you to try it out with your kids if you can, but at the very least, the goal of the class is for you to create something. We do have a Google Classroom that I would need you to join. I think I closed out of it. So let me just go get the code for you to join. Here is your code. So if you want to join this classroom, there's nothing in there right now. I'm going to stop recording actually because we should be good at this point.